And this is the Dirt Slinger 2. This is Bill Leischner, Weldon, Illinois. Bill's been sticking close to Illinois, did a lot of county fair type polls during the summertime. He's got 3 injected engines and just makes a ton of noise when he goes down the track. Look at the engines as we line them up for you front to back.
His dad's been ill. Will he get well soon? Watch him. He's got a problem. He runs to that side of the track, works his way around it. Oh, beautiful job. Beautiful job. Ken Broo on the front of that tractor. There's a little white card, and that's a letter from Willie, his dad, to all the pullers here tonight. And Willie, there it is. Willie, we miss you. Get well and get back. He wrote it with crayons.
Yeah. Well, it's not over till it's over, but it looks pretty good for the rice burner in the 2-wheel drive class. Bill RUMESBURG is the man behind the wheel on that particular truck, and he's with our Mike Gallaway right now.
Well, congratulations, Bill, for a 1988 national championship. How does it feel?
Well, thank you, Mike. It feels real good. We put a lot of miles on, and we'd like to take this time to thank Ford and Budweiser sponsors for putting this program on for us.
Bill, when you started out the year, did you have this in mind as a goal?
Well, we thought we'd try to make a run at it, but this is our first full year of competition. We didn't know whether we were able to or not, but it seems like we've been pretty successful.
Bill, is it a monetary thing or is it a personal thing, a national championship?
I think it's more a personal thing than anything.
How long have you been pulling, and especially in this 2-wheel drive class?
Just about a year and a half now. We were a little late. The class started in September. We come out in February of that year.
With a year and a half under your belt and you're a national champion, what about 1989?
Well, we've got an exhibition vehicle now. 89, we're going to try to make all the shows and see if we can do it again.
Bill RUMESBURG, first full year as competition, and he's a national champion in a 2-wheel drive class.
Blazing Bison, Steve JASKE from Golden Lake, Wisconsin. Homemade tractor, 3 engines, 1985. Well, you know, the sheet says 3, but it looks like 4. Is that 4?
There's 4 motors, 2 in line, and one of them that are setting clutch to clutch, one in front of each tire. They're all aluminum ARIES engines. They're taking off of a Chevrolet design.
He didn't take it out of his car or something when he came here tonight, right?
Took it out of his 2-wheel drive.
Is that right?
Slacks out of the chain. The visor comes down. There sits a young man that raced snowmobiles. Look at the horsepower, 1,500 apiece. He's got a good hook. That's close.
Very close. Sure does make a lot of noise, doesn't it?
When you've got 4 ARIES, you can make a lot of noise.
Steve JASKE from New Berlin, the Blazin Bison tonight, 159 feet and 4 inches. Well, the modified trucks have gone to a pull-off. We have 4 involved in the pull-off. From the mythical racing city of Turlock, California, it's the Wild Hare and Dan Coelho. He'll be followed by Mark Hunter from Tyler, Texas, Mark and Old Yeller, and then Yellow Fever. That's Bob Bauman from Saxonburg, PA. And then last out of the chute in the pull-off will be Red Grogan from Clinton, Kentucky in the Little Hillbilly. But it'll be Wild Hare to lead things off here.
He's the first man to go to the sled. Now, they've reweighted the sled. The box will come up the ramp a little faster this time, transferring that weight from a rolling weight to a dragging weight. Dan's moved over to almost the middle of the track, and he cleans out the big Hemi motor.
There you see the sled that has been reweighted. So don't look for a full pull right now.
Watch Coelho. He can do it. Box on his way up. Dan's on his way down. And there, Ken Broo will be the mark for the other 3 gentlemen to try to surpass.
All right, we'll move over to the tractor side of things. And sliding on in is Don Nelson. And this is the Texas Flash. Bernardo, Texas. Don is only 24. His real business is trucking, but he's been involved in this sport since he was 16 years old.
And at the age of 16, I had the pleasure of watching this young man drive a little single-engine, 1 carburetor, naturally aspirated, about 500 horsepower tractor.
Well, he's gone to a 1983 homemade job here. Chevy engine, full-blown.
3 big Chevys, and he is a tremendous driver. Cocks the hammer, fires it, it's in the air. He's on his He's got a good straight pass, too.
Oh, man.
And Dan, there is a situation, I think we saw what we talked about earlier. The person that hooks a tractor, keeps it straight all the way down, and can keep from fighting the brakes is going to win this, and we've just seen a man do it.
Texas Flash. Well, there's the Wild Hare, Dan Coelho, first in the pull-off tonight with a 151.11 1/4 inches. So that's the mark that the other three have to beat to win. Now, Donald Nelson has just charged to the lead in the tractor pull. Texas Flash, the full tonight. Just barely, but it was the full distance. All right, now let's move back over to four-wheel drive. Old Yeller, the second in the 4 pull-off. Old Yeller with the full pull originally. Now we'll try to beat the mark set by Dan Coelho.
There's a lot of classic Chevrolet fans here tonight pulling for Old Yeller. Now the mark 151.11 1/4 is where they put the brake to Dan. That's where the sled topped out. Let's see if he can do it. Yeller's on his way. He's trying.
It's going to be close.
I think we've just seen Old Yeller go to the lead. Believe that dog's hunting tonight.
Well, it's not Tom Cruise behind the wheel. It's Ron Warschkow in Top Gun. Again, a leading member in that tractor pulling family from Iowa Falls, Iowa. 2 Allison aircraft engines, and he must pull it the full distance to catch Donald Nelson.
These are side by side, set on about a 45-degree angle, unlike a lot of them you're seeing. They still have each individual clutch. Each one of them goes through a clutch, and then the output shaft into a cross box with one drive shaft coming out of them to couple them to the rear end. 30.5, 32 tires, almost perfectly smooth. Only about 1/2 inch is all the tread or lug that's cut into them. Takes forever, about 40 hours, to grind all the rubber off these tractor tires.
Is that right?
Cut your design into them. And it is a very back-breaking job.
Waiting for the green flag at the other end of the track. He's got it now. Ron Warschkow must do the full pull to get into the money.
He's got a good hook, but it's not going to be enough tonight.
Died on him. Now, what would those flames be, Mike? And a little fire down here, if you notice.
It's burning off of excess alcohol, and that on that side is probably a little oil leaking out on a hot header. I'm using a fire extinguisher to kind of...
Yep, there it goes. He's got it.
Get some of the fire out.
Nope, it's back up again.
Evidently, there's fire everywhere on the tractor, but I think that's just hot oil fire.
He's not in trouble, is he?
No, I don't think there's any trouble at all. There it is, and that's all that is, Ken, is just a little hot oil out on the header. It's kind of capped it off. There's not a problem with the tractor.
Mike, this died on him about halfway down the track.
Well, he was on his way and had a good hook. Tractor looked like it was hooked good with a lot of power. But when this sled gets on top of you, there's not a whole lot you can do. The track's got a lot of bite to it, but you really have to have a good hole shot with a lot of tire speed and a lot of power down at the end of the track to possibly keep this thing going. And there you see the excess alcohol coming out of it and burning off as it hits the atmosphere.
And we'll be right back here from the Astrodome in Houston with more four-wheel drive competition in just a moment.